This is heat one of the girls 13, 14, 50-meter butterfly event here at the 2025 Indiana Swimming Age Group Long Course Championship, sponsored by Speedo at the IU Natatorium in Indianapolis. I'm Eric Eaton, joined by the Executive Director of Indiana Swimming on the Indiana Swimming YouTube channel. Heat one of 5-time final heats. Here in lane 3, we have Lily Bromley, 13-year-old from Northridge Area Swimming Association. Lane 4, Ariel Gunther, 14-year-old from Irish Aquatics. And lane 5 will be Mackenzie Fleck, 13-year-old from the Southeastern Swim Club. Opening heat's going to go to Gunther in lane 4 in a time of 30.99. Time final event, the 13-14 girls 50-meter butterfly, and that means that the overall winner point scoring positions, top 8 podium finishes come out of any heat. Heat 2, lane 1 will be Leah Castle, 14-year-old from Lake Central Barracudas. Lane 2 is Clara Haley, 14-year-old from Riviera. Lane 3, Melina Williams, 13-year-old from Fort Wayne. Lane 4, Delaney Sweeney, 13-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 5, Peyton Nelson, 13-year-old from Northridge area. Lane 6 is Lily Martin, a 14-year-old from Riviera. Lane 7, Marin Romine, 14-year-old from Fort Wayne. And lane 8, Sydney Ermel, 13-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 1 is at the top of your screen. Lane 8 at the bottom of your screen at the IU Natatorium. Heat 2 is going to go to Romine in lane 7 in a time of 29.90. So that's the fastest time through 2 heats. This event, the 13-14 girls 50-meter butterfly here, kicking off the 2025 Indiana Swimming Age Group Long Course Championships sponsored by Speedo. And this is a new event to the meet this year as we move now to heat 3 in lane 1. Fernanda Colmenares Lavia, 13-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 3, Emma Barnett, 14-year-old from Franklin Regional. Lane 3 will be Mackenzie Soto, a 14-year-old from Dunedin. Lane 4, Camila Maya Merguia, 13-year-old from Club Olympia. Lane 5, Jada Wong, 14-year-old from Boilermaker Aquatics. Lane 6, Ella Richling, 14-year-old from Fort Wayne. Lane 6 is Mia Bishop, 14-year-old from the Indiana Swim Club. And lane 8, Claire Byron, a 13-year-old from Irish Aquatics. At the bottom of your screen, Byron wins the heat, heat 3, in a time of 30.95. On to heat 4 of 5-time final heats. The fastest seeded swimmers are going to be in the 5th heat. Everybody in this event is seated in a 100 time, though, because this event is new to the meet, as I said. In lane 1, it'll be Haley Blackwell, 14-year-old from Noblesville Swim Club. Lane 2, Libby Lale, 13-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 3, Meredith Worrell, 14-year-old from Fort Wayne. Lane 4 is Sarah Claire Broshears, a 14-year-old from Wind Tidal Wave. Lane 5, Juliet Fancher, 14-year-old from the Crown Point Swim Club. Lane 6 is Ella Eveslund, 13-year-old from Westfield. Lane 7 is Kaylee Niehaus, 14-year-old from Greater Evansville Aquatic. And lane 8, Audrey Krill, 13-year-old from the Valparaiso Swim Club. Heat 4, 13-14 girls 50-meter butterfly. And it looks like lane 5 is going to take it. Fancher, 30.57, 1 heat to go in this time final event. And the fastest time is posted by Marin Romine from Fort Wayne in the 2nd heat, 29.90. Heat 5, lane 1, Karen Preston, 13-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 2 is Caitlin Yak, 14-year-old from Fort Wayne. Lane 3, Aylin Bilgesser, 14-year-old from Irish Aquatics. Lane 4, Audrey Wolf, 14-year-old from Fishers Area Swimming Tigers. Lane 5, Haley Hunter, 14-year-old from the Zionsville Swim Club. Lane 6, Ashlyn Hayes, 14-year-old from Fishers Area. Lane 7 is Dara Patton, 14-year-old from Fishers Area. And lane 8, Braylon Burrows, 13-year-old from Wabash Valley. Final heat, the fastest seeded heat, 13-14 girls 50-meter butterfly time final, event 1 of this meet. And it looks like it's Wolf and Hunter in the middle of the pool battling to the wall here. Slight lead for Wolf. She's going to get in there and touch first in a time of 28.25. And she's going to take the win in the competition. Audrey Wolf with that swim. And in 2nd place in the heat went to Hunter. Lane 5, 28.58. And that'll be good for 2nd overall. We'll have the awards ceremony coming up here in a little bit. The awards are as I said, will be after in a little bit. They'll be during the 1500. Event 2 now, 13-14 boys 50-meter butterfly. Heat 1. Lane 1 will be Kyle Jarosik, 13-year-old from Munster Swim Club. Lane 2, Landon Williams, 13-year-old from Elkhart United. Lane 3, Will Kinter, 14-year-old from the Brownsburg Swim Club. Lane 4, Jackson Hanson, 13-year-old from the Highland Hurricanes. Lane 5, Zachary Williams, 13-year-old from Westfield Aquatics. Lane 6, Owen Benesh, 13-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 7, Graham Lindewald, 13-year-old from the Munster Swim Club. And in lane 8, Byron Young, 13-year-old from Brownsburg. A huge lead here for Williams in lane 2 from Elkhart United. He's going to win the opening heat, 13-14 boys, 50-meter butterfly in a time of 28 flat. Heat 2 now. Lane 1 will be Dominic Bloom, 14-year-old from Fort Wayne. Lane 3, Liam Welty, 14-year-old from Lawrence Swim Team. Lane 3, Rodrigo Sanchez, 14-year-old from Fishers area. Lane 5, Micah Rodenizer, 14-year-old from Fort Wayne. Lane 5, Bryce Connor, 14-year-old from the Noblesville Swim Club. Lane 6, Austin Young, 13-year-old from Fort Wayne. Lane 7, Joshua Nugger, 13-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. And in lane 8, Reed Leeper, 14-year-old from Boilermaker. Lane 1 at the top of your screen, lane 8 at the bottom. Starting these races from the north end of the pool. And finishing at the south end, which is traditionally the starting and finishing end for the majority of our events. And it looks like here in lane 6 with the win in this heat is going to be Young, Austin Young, 28-4-1. Moving on to heat 3 of 5-time final heats, 13-14 boys 50-meter butterfly, event 2. Heat 3, lane 1 will be Kingston Schneider, 14-year-old from Greater Evansville. Lane 2 is Grady Warble, 14-year-old from Oak Hill. Lane 3, Blake Hadley, 13-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 4, Xander Weigel, 14-year-old from Duneland. Lane 5, Dylan Pangmanen, 13-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 3 will be Lynn Rayon, 13-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 7 will be Yamil Solano de Vargas, 14-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. And in lane 8, Patrick Malche, 14-year-old from Duneland. This heat's going to go to Xander Weigel in lane 4 from Duneland, 27.94. That's the fastest time so far. Moves us on to heat 4. Lane 1 will be Jason Yang, 13-year-old from Boilermaker. Lane 2, Brecken Luckett, 14-year-old from Fort Wayne. Lane 3 is Jonathan Baker, 14-year-old from the Zionsville Swim Club. Lane 4 is Malachi Michael, 14-year-old from the Calpa Aquatics. Lane 5, Justin Yang, 14-year-old from Portage Porpoise. Lane 6 is Wes Brooks, 14-year-old from Fort Wayne. Lane 7 to Ryan Hughes, 14-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. And in lane 8 is Thomas Wandling, 14-year-old from the Irish Aquatics. And here in heat 4, it looks like it's going to be lane 6, Wes Brooks with the win, 27.75. That is the case. So that's the fastest time as we head to the 5th and final heat, event 2, 13-14 boys 50-meter butterfly time final. In heat 5, lane 1, Everett Heiser, 14-year-old from the Zionsville Swim Club. Lane 2, Cooper McQuiston, 14-year-old from the Zionsville Swim Club. Lane 3, Jackson Russell, 14-year-old from Plainfield Community. Lane 4, Jaden Jai, 14-year-old from Center Grove Aquatic. Lane 5 is Kiari Slater, 14-year-old from the Zionsville Swim Club. Lane 6, Braden McCallops, 14-year-old from Franklin Regional. Lane 7, Grayson Wells, 14-year-old from Michiana Marlins. And lane 8, Timmy Newell, 14-year-old from the Munster Swim Club. No meet record in our 50-meter butterfly events because this is the first year of the event. Fastest seated heat, 13-14 boys 50-meter butterfly. It's like lane 5 with a lead right now. Slater inside 5 meters. He's going to take the win in this fastest seated heat and swims a 25.76, and that'll win the event for Kiari Slater from Zionsville. He'll pick up 20 points for his team with an individual win. They'll score down to 16 places for all events. And once again, the award ceremony for the 50-meter butterfly is coming up during the 1500. And we're going to get ready for the 1500. We're going to go back to the south end of the pool here, the starting block for event 3 here, the 13-14 girls 1500-meter freestyle. Just one heat. It's a timed final. Here, this will be 30 lengths of the pool for these young ladies. Each athlete will have a lap counter.
So what we've done in tonight's championships is we're going to alternate the 50 of stroke with 2 heats of 1500s. Then we'll do the 50 backstroke and 2 more heats of the 1500s. So we're going to intermix heats of 50s and 1500s throughout the evening. This is heat 1 of the 1500 girls.
In heat 1, in lane 1 will be Nora Hall, 13-year-old from Flashes Aquatics. Lane 2, Elsie Tibbs, 14-year-old from Wind Tidal Wave. Lane 3 is Isabel Cox, 13-year-old from the Flashes Aquatics. Lane 4, Haley Morris, 14-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 5 is Maria Daly, 14-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 6, Maya Preston, 14-year-old from the Noblesville Swim Club. Lane 8, Leah Risley, 14-year-old from Fort Wayne. And lane 8, Natalie Rowling, 14-year-old from the Jasper Aquatic Wildcats. So as I said, a 30-lap race here. Meet record, there is a meet record in this event, as it is a meet an event that is regular to the meet, swum every year. So the meet record was set in 2007, 17:24:19 by Kristen Nunnally. Association record 1983 set by Paul Aesthetic, time of 16:49:82. Your early leader here is lane 4. That's Haley Morris from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 1 is at the top of your screen. Lane 8 at the bottom of your screen. I'm Eric Eaton, along with the Executive Director of Indiana Swimming, Tony Young. We're coming to you from the IU Natatorium in downtown Indianapolis for the Indiana Swimming YouTube coverage of the 2025 Indiana Swimming Age Group Long Course Championships, sponsored by Speedo. This is a Thursday through Sunday meet. Thursday is a timed final session. The rest of the meet will have a prelim and final session each day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
As you mentioned, early leader is Haley Morris. She's kind of been the up-and-coming distance guru for the young ladies that we're going to see probably at the national level soon. We've called her races in short course yards, now long course meters. So keep an eye on her. We'll kind of track her 400s throughout the swim itself.
Big early lead here by Morris. Continues in lane 4. Looks like second place in lane 3 is Cox from Flashes Aquatics. Battle is for second here, coming into the wall, into the turn here at the south end. Between, looks like lane 5, Daly, and lane 3, Cox. Haley Morris is out in front from the Carmel Swim Club in lane 4.
You know, we've talked a lot about lap counters over the years, whether it was short course yards or long course meters. We saw last weekend how important those lap counters can be. We had the end of a 1500, just a dual head-to-head race at the end of the race, and 2 swimmers stopped 100 short. It was just in the lap counters we think were online, but the athletes were so focused on racing each other that they actually stopped before the race had completed.
Yeah, we saw that. That definitely was the case, and the gentleman that was in second saw the leader stop, so he stopped as well.
Well, they got back at it and raced hard, though. They didn't stop. They kept going.
Yeah, they finished it up.
Let's take a look at Haley's split here at the 400. What kind of track is see? The goal here is to improve or build into each 400. 4:38.24.
That was, yep, that was the time. Second place, Daly in lane 5, 4:42.47.
Some pretty good swims for second and third right now. You're right. They're really right up there.
30-lap race. Morris, your leader, about ready to turn at the north end of the pool. Have 9 laps complete. Only one heat. Event 3:13.14 girls 1500 meter freestyle.
You look at the 1500 freestyle, and perception is you look at how long their strokes are and how efficient their strokes are. And they give you the impression that maybe they're just cruising if you're watching at home. Does it look fast to you? In person, they look really fast because their times tell us so as well. Lane number 5 having a great swim there. Maria Daly.
Yeah, she's got about a body length lead over the third place competitor right now, Cox from Flashes Aquatics. Everybody, the top 3 through 10 laps now, so 20 laps left. It is Haley Morris out in front in lane 4, followed by Maria Daly in lane 5, both the top 2 from the Carmel Swim Club. And in lane 3, the Flashes Aquatics, Isabel Cox. Her teammate is now in 4th place in lane 1, Nora Hall, 13-year-old from the Flashes Aquatics. Lane 1 atop your screen, lane 8 at the bottom.
As you mentioned, a time final event, we're going to see we're going to see 3 heats of women, or young girls, and then 3 heats of men. But the last heat is actually going to be a combined heat of males and females. Our last swim of the session before we award the 1500.
Yeah, check that. There's actually, you're right, there's a couple heats of the girls 13-14. On the heat sheet, it says heat 1 of 1 time finals, but there's more than 1 heat here. This is the fastest seeded heat.
One tough thing about tonight, when you announce the association record and the meet record, they are so tough to beat within our LSC. I would say if anybody's got, coming up throughout age group swimming, you got some tough standards or tough records to try to break over the next few years. They've been set by Olympians. They've been set by top national age group record holders. Been set by collegiate athletes that have been swum at Division I. So keep your eyes on them as the great swims that they're having in the pool. If they're your favorite swimmers, watch how they progress through the 1500. I'm keeping an eye over there on lane number 3. It looks like Isabel Cox starting to make a move here in the middle of the race.
"15 laps down for your leader now, Haley Morris in lane 4. She's halfway through the race. Second place is Daly still in 5. Third place in lane 3 is Isabel Cox. This is heat 1 of 2 time final heats, 13-14 girls 1500 meter freestyle.
I believe this is the 800 coming up.
Check that, 3 heats of girls, 13-14, 1500 freestyle. They're going to break the 1500s up with the 50 events, the backstroke and the breaststroke.
Right now, Isabel Cox is splitting about a tenth faster than her competition. So keep an eye on her on the back half. Starting to make a gradual move, starting to build into this 1500.
After this 13-14 girls heat 1 of the 15 free, we'll have 13-14 boys heat 1 of the 1500 free. That'll be the fastest seeded heat. Then we'll switch to events 5 and 6, the 50 backstroke events for the 13-14-year-olds. This is all a 13-14-year-old session, time final session here at Thursday. The rest of the age groups, 11, 12-year-olds, 10 and unders, get going tomorrow here at the IU Natatorium.
Well, let's see what our leader is splitting on this 50. It's obviously ahead, but she splits 35.46. That's about a full second faster than anybody in the pool in second place. We've got Daly here in 5. She splits is that 39.12?
39.12 for Daly, second place in lane 5.
Third is, I'm not sure that's correct. Isabel Cox is 37.0. I'm not sure Daly's split was correct. I think she's much faster than that. Occasionally what will happen is the lap counter down at the other end will actually hit the lap counter against the touchpad and actually shut off the touchpad as a split, and you just never know which is accurate. Haley Morris 35.5, so she's holding pretty specific splits right at 35.5.
And Morris coming up on 10 laps to go here at the starting block end as she makes the turn this time by. She's led all the way so far here at 13-14 girls 1500 meter freestyle heat 1.
Right on again, 35.5. That's an example of great pacing because it's flip turn to flip turn for a pace, not hand touch. So your turns become a huge part of your 1500 race. Let's see what Daly's split is here. I think her splits are off.
Yeah.
That's not correct. If you're watching at home, that's not. She's much faster than that. And 36.86 for Isabel Cox. So I would say that she's probably, low 36 is Daly at this point, as she's starting to make a move to pull away into second place a little bit more. So these young ladies, as they continue through the 1500, their goal is to try to make each 400 effort-wise a little bit faster. Coaches on the sidelines trying to signal them, telling that they're on pace, so they want them to lengthen out their stroke. They want to have them increase their tempo.
Coming up on 8 laps to go now for Morris in lane 4. She made the turn. Second place, Maria Daly, lane 5, about ready to make her turn with 8 laps to go. And third place continues to be Isabel Cox in lane 3 from Flashes. And it looks like we may have a battle for fourth here. Lanes 1 and 7, Hull in 1 and Risley in 7. All right, you just saw the awards presentation there for the top 8 finishers in the our first event, the 13-14 girls 50-meter butterfly. Bell lap for your leader now, Haley Morris in lane 4. Here in the Heat 1 and 13-14 girls 1500 meter freestyle. In second place now in lane 5 is Daly. She's been that in second the whole way. She got the Bell lap. And third place in lane 3, Isabel Cox. Into fourth place now in lane 7 here in this fastest seated heat, 13-14 girls 1500, is Leah Risley. The winning time was posted by Haley Morris here in Heat 1, 13-14 girls 1500 freestyle, in a time of 17:39.72. So that now becomes the time to beat. Second place in this fastest seated heat was Maria Daly in lane 5, 18:05.64. Third place in lane 3, Isabel Cox, 18:09.94. So 17:39.72 is the time to beat. You did see the awards presentation there, upper right-hand corner of your screen for the boys, 13-14 boys 50-meter butterfly event. So Heat 1, the girls, 13-14 1500 meter freestyle complete. That'll bring us up to Heat 1 of the boys, 13-14 1500 meter freestyle. And there's going to be 3 heats of time finals for the boys. Coming up here in a minute. Meet record setting by an Olympian, Michael Brenniger, in 2014, 16, 22, 23. And he also holds the association record set in 2014, the same year, 15:47.96. Heat 1, 13-14 boys, 1,500 meter freestyle, the fastest seeded heat. In lane 1, we have Tyler Johnson, a 14-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 2, Edward Enoch, 13-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 3 is Victor Martin, 13-year-old from Flashes Aquatics. Lane 4, Oliver Imnabnett, 14-year-old from Franklin Regional. Lane 5, Liam Chop, 13-year-old from Fishers area. Lane 6, Wyatt Jones, 13-year-old from Greater Evansville. Lane 7, Max Schroeder, 13-year-old from Indiana Swim Club. And lane 8, Henry Patterson, a 14-year-old from Valparaiso Swim Club. In 30 lengths to the pool here in the 1,500. Fastest seeded heat, 13-14 boys, 1,500 meter freestyle. In Abnett in the lane 4 is the top seed in the event. He comes in with a seed time of 17:39.34. After this one heat, the fastest seeded heat for the boys, the 1,500, 13, 14-year-olds, we'll go back to the 50 backstroke event, starting with 13, 14 girls. And that'll be event 5. All right, the early lead here in this heat, in the heat 1 of the 13-14 boys 1,500 meter freestyle, being established by an Abnett in lane 4 from Franklin Regional. It's like in second place right above him is Martin from Flashes Aquatics.
So last week when we were calling a race, you mentioned a young man named Max Schroeder, and he was swimming at senior championships in the 800 freestyle, and now we're seeing him in the 1,500. So keep an eye on him out of lane number 7. Great back half at senior championships just a week ago.
He's in lane 7. It looks like he's battling for second place here with Martin in lane 3, early stages of this race, the 1,500. And Abnett still has a slight lead in lane 4. They're through 4 laps.
Keep an eye and see who the fastest swimmers in the pool are through the scoreboard. If you're watching from home, you can watch just how consistent your favorite swimmer is by watching the scoreboard, the splits that register up on this great scoreboard here at the IU Natatorium.
Looks like we got 4 swimmers trying to break away a little bit from the rest of the field here early. Enoch in 2, Martin in 3, and Abnett in 4, and then, as we mentioned, Schroeder out in 7.
Quite a few 13-year-olds in this heat. That's great for Indiana swimming to see some of these young swimmers competing in this event. This group looks good, looks controlled as they build into their 300 split here.
Max Schroeder has gone into the lead now in lane 7. Gets ready to make the turn here at the starting block end, followed by a Abnett in lane 4.
No, that's lane 6.
Or,
it's Wyatt Jones.
Yeah, Wyatt Jones, excuse me. Wyatt Jones is now the leader.
It's a long race. Most of these young men have a great race plan set forth by them and their coach.
So it's Enoch in 2, Martin in 3, and Abnett in 4, and Jones in 6. Those 4 have broken away a little bit from the rest of the field, with Wyatt Jones leading in lane 6 from Greater Evansville.
First 400 coming up. I say keep an eye on Max Schroeder here as he comes into the 400, as he builds through the middle 400. Not even a third of the way through the race yet, but let's see what the first 400 splits are for your leaders.
Going through the 400-meter mark here. Jones with the lead. 4:23.85 for him, and second place in Abnett in lane 4. 4:25.16.
It's a pretty good split on the way out. Watching the scoreboard, we'll see who the fastest swimmer is in the pool, and they flip at the far end, the scoreboard end. All right, your leader's Wyatt Jones. Let's see what he splits here on this 50. 33.85, 34.25 for second place.
Great three-way battle behind Jones for the lead here. Lanes 2 through 4. Enoch 3, Martin and Enoch in 2, rather Martin in 3, and Nabnett in 4.
So as these young men build through this race, there's always races within races, and they will show up as this race builds through. 34.2 for your leader, Wyatt Jones.
10 laps down, 20 to go for him. Heat 1, 13-14 boys, 1,500 meter freestyle.
You know, the Wyatt right now is probably taking the least amount of strokes of anybody in the competition right now. He's very efficient. When he comes down to the turn in here, we'll take a look at his turn, how he navigates his way into the turn without losing any momentum, always coming off the wall with momentum, not having to restart every 50. As they spread out, we'll try to give you a snapshot of your favorite swimmer the best we can over the course of the race. Top of our screen, lane 2, coming on strong now is Edward Enoch.
And he's moved into second place behind Schroeder, or excuse me, Jones, Wyatt Jones.
Enoch 34.17. He's second fastest split. So he's starting to build into the back half. Keep an eye on him.
Moving in on Nabnett now for third place is Victor Martin in lane 3. And back in fourth place is Schroeder in lane 7.
$33.92 for Jones. 34.23 for Enoch. He's pretty solid off his walls. I think that's what's keeping him ahead of the field. Let's watch him at the start end as he navigates his way through the race. Remember, splits are flip turn to flip turn. We're watching our leader, Jones, Wyatt Jones. Inside the flags here, watch that head go down. He takes that last arm pull in, pulls himself into the wall, way out past the flags off each wall. There's no breath before the flags.
14 laps complete for Wyatt Jones in lane 6. Second place in lane 2 is Enoch. And then that battle for third here, lanes 3 and 4, Martin in 3 and Nabnett in 4 here in the 1,500.
As you mentioned, this is a time final event, so because you finish first in this heat doesn't mean you win the event. We still got a few more heats of the 1,500s.
2 more heats for boys to follow. This is the fastest seeded heat. But, right now, Wyatt Jones, if he can hang on and win, he'll set the time to beat for our remaining 2 heats. Wyatt out in lane 6.
Wyatt Jones from Greater Evansville, 13-year-old. Watch this push off. Takes his dolphin kick at the flags, not a breath at the flags. Good long walls, good racing skills. That's what keeps those splits down under 34.
Yeah, it looks like Wyatt continuing to be the fastest swimmer in the pool, at least amongst those top 4 at this point in the race. Second place is still Enoch in lane 2, and followed in third in lane 3 is Martin. Fourth place in lane 4 is Nabnett. Those 2 are battling for third, are Martin and Nabnett out near the middle of the pool.
Pretty busy night. As you mentioned, we got the 50s of the next stroke event, which is backstroke upcoming. New events to the age group championships, as you mentioned. So if you win an event, I guess you do set the record, right?
Yeah, I guess, yeah, technically that would be a meet record.
So how tough is it to break the 1500 record here for 13, 14 boys in Indiana? You only have to break an Olympian's record. Not a problem, right?
18 laps complete now for Wyatt Jones. Michael Brenninger holds a meet record, set it in 2014, 16, 22, 23.
Jones is so disciplined. Pretty impressed the way he's been coached to really navigate those walls. Enoch's still a threat up at the top of your screen. He's not quitting.
And that battle for third goes on. They've been at it for quite a while now. Martin in 3 and Inabnet in 4.
It's a blessing to have those races within the 1500. Sometimes you get in a zone. Let's kind of look what Wyatt may be feeling in this 1500 right now. You get in a zone, you don't really feel anything. You kind of go numb, you feel rhythmical. Everything just feels like you're on top of the water.
I think Wyatt, I believe it was around the 200-meter mark or so that he began to break away. He's been in control since.
Let's take a look at his split here. Nice turn, head straight down off this wall. Probably the best turn he's had. 34.01. 34.2 for Edwin Enoch. He's right there with the fastest splits. 34.6, 35.2. Victor Martin making a move. $34.01. How can you get any better than that? $34.01, $34.01. Hey, you're splitting to the hundredths of a second. Coach has got to be excited. And I think, again, we see the kind of the splits off just a little bit. Maybe it's lane 4's touch pads. I'm not really sure, but every once in a while, I think we got the lap counters shutting off the pads early, and it's throwing off the splits at the other end.
Coming up on 8 laps to go here for Wyatt Jones, the leader.
Oh my gosh, was he what, 34.06? Yeah, 5/100ths of a second. That's just a twitch and a turn maybe. Oh, look at this race going on for 3rd and 4th right now in this heat. Wow, there's some battling going on there.
Yeah, they've been at it quite a while, Martin and Abnett, and it looks like Martin has maybe about a quarter of a body length lead over Oliver for that spot.
What was that, 08?
Yep, 34.08 for Wyatt.
Boy, this kid is right on it. 34.0, 34.0, 34.0. I'm impressed.
Coming up on six laps to go now for Wyatt Jones. Heat 1, event 4, 13-14 boys 1500-meter freestyle. First heat of the time final. 2 more heats to follow.
Coaches are looking for closing speed now, and that's where you see the battle going on in lanes 3 and 4 right now. It's that closing speed that coaches preach all the time. The end of every set, the end of every practice, go fast at the end no matter how tired you are, and it's preached every day, and this is where it pays off.
.25 laps now complete for Jones in 6. It turns down at the far end of the pool. 25 laps now complete for second place. Enoch in lane 2.
So Edwards from a pretty controlled race. Stuck to his race plan, really came on strong in the back half of the race. Here's Jones, your leader again.
4 laps to go. He'll get the bell next time at the starting block end.
Enoch, 34.6. Definitely splitting the second fastest. Watch these two racers here. Match race going on in 3 and 4.
And Martin has got about a body length lead right now.
Yeah, they're splitting almost exactly alike. 34.26, 35.26, 35.27. 1/100th of a second difference. Keep an eye on the races within the race. All right, you said he's coming back for the bell lap here.
We've got about a half a lap to go till he gets that bell here. Wyatt Jones in lane 6.
Looks like it's been wire to wire, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I think it was right around the 200-meter mark that he began to pull away from. It was in Abnett and I think Martin and also Enoch. There were 4 of them that kind of broke away those first 200 meters. Then Jones then broke away from the other 3.
33.93 for Wyatt Jones. Enoch, 34.8. All right, let's see who wins this match race here on the last 100. They're almost just hundredths of seconds difference between the two.
Final turn coming up far into the pool for your leader, Wyatt Jones in 6.
And he splits a 33.85. He's only getting faster.
So he's going to set the time to beat. 2 heats to follow here. 13-14 boys, 1,500 free. They'll come up later in the meet here on this Thursday time final session.
And here is your leader.
See what he stops the clock at here. Wyatt Jones from Greater Evansville, the 13-year-old. And he goes a 16:50.97.
Wow. Nice time drop.
You know, almost a 50-second time drop, about 48-second time drop for him. Second place in lane 2, Edward Enoch. Enoch goes a 17:02.21. And finishing third is going to be Victor Martin in lane 3 at a time of 17:12.19. Getting fourth in the opening heat of the 1,500, Oliver Inabnet, 17:14.81 from Franklin Regional.
Little handshake amongst competitors there after you push each other up and down to pool to your best time. Great sportsmanship. Nice swims, gentlemen. Now we're back to our next 50 of stroke event.
It's going to be event 5 now. 13-14 girls 50-meter backstroke. We're going to move back to the north end of the pool for the starts for these heats. 5 heats of time finals. Fastest seeded heat will be heat 5. The 50-meter backstroke, a new event to the meet this year. In heat 1, in lane 2, we'll have Ava Kaneda, 14-year-old from the Hoosier Hills Otters. Lane 2 will be Quinn Pollock, 14-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 3 will be Addie Adams, a 13-year-old from Fishers area. Lane 5, Parker Hendrickson, 13-year-old from the Flashes Aquatics. And lane 6, Savannah Johnke, a 14-year-old from Center Grove Aquatic.
Ladies using the backstroke wedges.
You'll see them flip up off the start. And they recoil back into position. Those backstroke wedges, and we're underway. 1 length of the pool backstroke. Great start out here at the bottom of your screen in lane 6. That's Johnke from Center Grove Aquatic.
Any lane, any heat can win this event. It's all about the time in a time final event.
Here comes lane 3 in the open water here. That's Pollock from Carmel. It looks like Quinn's going to take the opening heat. Quinn Pollock in lane 3 from the Carmel Swim Club. Swims a 32.47, so that becomes the time to beat now here in this time final. No meet record because it's a new event. Heat 2. Lane 1 will be Chloe Campbell, 13-year-old from the Valparaiso Swim Club. Lane 2, Natalie Gladeau, 13-year-old from Southeastern Swim Club. Lane 3, Maddie Lynn, 13-year-old from the Munster Swim Club. Lane 4 will be Caitlin Weeks, 13-year-old from Irish Aquatics. Lane 5, Sawyer Helton, 13-year-old from Plainfield Community. Lane 6, Bristol Kane, 13-year-old from Pace Setter. Lane 7 will be Kenzie Korchnick, 13-year-old from Boilermaker. And Lane 8, Emma Orth, 13-year-old from Greater Evansville. Lane 1 at the top of your screen. Lane 8 is at the bottom of your screen.
So by the rule, if everybody goes faster than the time in each one of the heats, the meet record is broken 5 times.
Yeah. Went up on 15 meters to go. Looks like lane 4 here. Weeks from the Irish Aquatics with the lead, coming inside 5 meters underneath the flags here. And so she's going to take this heat. That's Caitlin Weeks in a time of 33.29.
Nice finish. Great finish.
Pollock remains the leader from the previous heat as we go to heat 3 now, the time final. 13-14 girls 50-meter backstroke. In lane 1, Abigail Gwessinger, 14-year-old from Munster Swim Club. Lane 2 is Maddie Hoagland, 14-year-old from Northridge area. Lane 3, Lily DeTillo, 14-year-old from Hoosier Hills Otters. Lane 4 will be Gina Hinch, 13-year-old from Fort Wayne. Lane 5, McKenna Crumley, 13-year-old Greater Evansville. Lane 6 is Kohanna Owen, 14-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 7, Delaney Miller, 14-year-old from the Southeastern Swim Club. And in lane 8 will be Sierra Weinrich, 14-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. It's like lane 4 with about just under half a lap to go with the lead. That's Hinch from Fort Wayne.
Oh, that's still head position, good shoulder rotation, strong power in the legs to increase the tempo.
Hinch is going to win the 3rd heat. Stops the clock in a winning time of 31.89. That's the new fastest time for Gina Hinch, the 13-year-old from Fort Wayne. 2 more heats left here in the time final. 13-14 girls 50-meter backstroke event. Fastest seeded heat is heat 5. In heat 4, lane 1 will be Lily Quadlin, 13-year-old from the Port community. Lane 2, Audrey Krill, 13-year-old from the Valparaiso Swim Club. Lane 3, Isabel Ortiz, 14-year-old from Fishers area. Lane 4, Bryn Law, 14-year-old from Duneland. Lane 5, Ruby Sininger, 13-year-old from the Irish Aquatics. Lane 6 is Aylin Bilgesser, 14-year-old Irish Aquatics. Lane 7, Sarah Claire Broshiers, 14-year-old from Wind Tidal Wave. And in lane 8, we have Frankie Curry, a 14-year-old from the Tri-West Swim Club. It's like lane 2 had the leader with about a half a lap to go. Krill from Valparaiso. Here comes lane 4 on now. Bryn Law from Duneland. Coming inside the flags to the finish here. See who gets in there first. Is it going to be Krill or Law? It's going to be Krill in lane 2 in a time of 31.94.
I think that comes down sometimes to shutting off the touchpad. You know, you throw that hand a little bit too early, you hit the touchpad a little bit softer, doesn't quite shut it off as quickly as you want to.
Heat 5 now. Lane 1 will be Ruby Hines, 14-year-old from Fishers area. Lane 2, Peyton Nelson, 13-year-old from Northridge area. Lane 3 is Josie Trent, 14-year-old from Fort Wayne. Lane 4, Zara Patton, a 14-year-old from Fishers area. Lane 5, Isabel Harger, 14-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 6, Haley Guzak, 14-year-old from the Munster Swim Club. Lane 7, Audrey Wolf, 14-year-old from Fishers area. And lane 8, Reese Kellstrom, 14-year-old from Duneland. Time to beat is 31.89. Gina Hinch holds that time. Patton with the lead. Coming to the flags, the final 5 meters. Here comes Harger as well to make it a battle right at the wall. And Patton in lane 4 from Fishers area wins the heat in a time of 31.02. And that's going to be the fastest time. So she's going to win the event. Second place in the heat there was Harger in lane 5, 31.17. So those will be the top 2 on the awards podium. Coming up in a few minutes, that awards presentation during the 1500.
I think there were 5 girls at 31 seconds in that 50 backstroke. That's a nice event.
Next up, event 6 now, 13-14 boys 50-meter backstroke time final. 5 heats of time finals. In heat 1, lane 3 will be Miller Simmons, a 13-year-old from the Zionsville Swim Club. Lane 4, Timmy Newell, 14-year-old from the Munster Swim Club. And in lane 5, Bennett Rogers, 14-year-old from Riviera. Again, no meet record here, new event. Early lead here belongs to Simmons in lane 3. Just under half a lap to go. And Simmons will win the opening heat, set the time to beat in a time of 31:10. Miller Simmons from Zionsville. Heat 2. 13-14 boys 50-meter backstroke event. In lane 1, Malachi Michael, 14-year-old from Capital Aquatics. Lane 2, Will Kinter, 14-year-old from Brownsburg Swim Club. Lane 3 will be Reese Merritt, the 14-year-old from Fort Wayne. Lane 4, Sawyer Cannon, 13-year-old from Irish Aquatics. Lane 5, Eli Johnson, 14-year-old from Indian Creek. Lane 6 is Charlie Finney, a 14-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. And in lane 8, Francis Wong, 13-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Top of your screen here, lane 1, great start by Michael from Capital.
A little outside smoke.
Coming on here, it looks like in lane 5 is Johnson. It looks like it's going to be Michael in lane 1 who wins this heat. Or now, they say Johnson got him out-touched him in 5. 30.83 for Johnson to a 30.89 for Michael. So 30.83. Time to beat now. Heat 3, lane 1 will be Henry Kazmierczyk, 13-year-old from the Greenwood Gators. Lane 2, Coleman Catalata, 14-year-old from Noblesville Swim Club. Lane 3, Justin Yang, 14-year-old from Portage Porpoise. Lane 4 is Maddox Larger, 14-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 5 is Graham Lindewald, 13-year-old from the Munster Swim Club. Lane 6 is Patrick Malche, 14-year-old from Dunlin. Lane 7, Ethan Palmer, 14-year-old from Wabash Valley. And lane 8, Derek Wang, 13-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. It's like moving out to a quick lead here. Yang in lane 3. We've got it's like 3 other swimmers coming on now, particularly in lane 5 here. Lindewald. Let's see if Graham gets the win here. Oh, he banged his hand hard on the wall to finish. Lindewald. Time at 30.35. He gets the win, and he's excited about it, so I don't think that affected him too much, but he hit that hand pretty hard.
No, he's looking at it now.
And he moves into the lead in the competition. Heat 4, lane 1 will be Kaloyan Duchkin, 14-year-old from the Zionsville Swim Club. Lane 2, Cooper McQuiston, 14-year-old from the Zionsville Swim Club. Lane 3, Jackson Russell, 14-year-old from Plainfield Community. Lane 4, Kingston Snyder, 14-year-old from Greater Evansville. Lane 5, Alden Thomas, 14-year-old Westfield Aquatics. Lane 6 is Rowan Sievers, 14-year-old from Fort Wayne. Lane 7, Lucas Steppen, 14-year-old from Franklin Regional. And lane 8, Austin Young, 13-year-old from Fort Wayne. Heat 4, a 5-time final heats. Event 6, 13-14 boys, 50-meter backstroke event. It's like with the lead, 15 meters to go here. It's Jackson Russell from Plainfield Community. Russell wins the heat in a time of 28.83, and that's the fastest time so far by far and away so far. Second place, McQuiston in the heat, 29.73. 1 heat to go, the fastest seeded heat, but everybody's seated in a 100 time. Heat 5, lane 1 will be Bryce Connor, 14-year-old from the Noblesville Swim Club. Lane 2 is Carter Kellett, 14-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 3 is Jack Douglas, 14-year-old from Valparaiso. Lane 4, Mac Allen, 14-year-old Carmel Swim Club. Lane 5, Everett Heiser, 14-year-old from the Zionsville Swim Club. Lane 6, Trevor Smith, 13-year-old from Franklin Regional. Lane 7 is Aiden Guzzo, 14-year-old from Duneland. And lane 8, we have Kiari Slater, 14-year-old from Zionsville. Time to beat, 28.83.
Somebody's out of the gate quick.
Yeah, Heiser from Zionsville in lane 5.
Whoa, did he get out of there fast off that block.
A lot of white water being made by him, too, here with 15 meters to go.
Holy cow. Is he pulling a ton of water?
And Everett Heiser's going to win this final heat of the time final in lane 5 and a winning time of 27.39, and he's going to be your winner in the event. So that'll officially be the meet record.
Nice swim.
Second place in the heat went to Douglas in lane 3, 29.14. It looks like from the previous heat, though, Russell's going to get second on the awards podium.
I think the kids think these are fun events. They like the addition to the championship this year, especially kicking off the excitement on day 1, right back to the next heat of the 1500s.
Yeah, it's going to be heat 2 of the time final for the girls 13, 14-year-olds in the 1500, heat 2. The time to beat in the first heat was posted by Haley Morris of Carmel in a time of 17:39.72. 17:39.72. That's the time to beat. In this heat, in lane 1, we'll have Ryan Flanagan, a 13-year-old from Crown Point Swim Club. Lane 2, Charlie Aaliyah, 13-year-old from Franklin Regional. Lane 3 is Reese Anderson, 14-year-old from the Valparaiso Swim Club. Lane 4, Brooklyn Rager, 14-year-old from Fishers area. Lane 5, Helena Weller, 14-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 6, Gabby Hintz, 14-year-old from Irish Aquatics. Lane 7, Caitlin Yak, 14-year-old from Fort Wayne. And lane 8, Emma Orth, 13-year-old from Greater Evansville Aquatic. 1,500, 30 lengths to the pool. And then each athlete has a lap counter. And looks like Rager in lane 4 from Fishers area will be the fastest seated swimmer in this heat. Entered in a time of 19:03.84. The time to beat is 17:39.72 by Morris. We're underway in lane 6. Boy, Gabby Hintz, she got a very late good luck wish in the event by a teammate right as she stepped onto the block. And taking it out fast here in lane 7, it looks like is Yak here early from Fort Wayne. Moving out to about a body length lead here on this opening 100 meters. So Yak will have the lead after 100 meters in lane 7, followed in lane 5 by Weller from Carmel. We saw a wire-to-wire win by Haley Morris in the first heat from Carmel. We'll see what happens here in the second heat. try to break away for you here with Mike Miles, the voice of the pool duck, as well for awards presentations here for the 50-meter backstroke event when they start. Yeah, it looks like now coming up to challenge Yak for the lead is Weller in lane 5 here on this second 100 of the 1500. Looks like she's going to take the lead now, Helena Weller from Carmel in lane 5. These athletes will settle into their race strategy developed by all the hard work that they do in training and practice. Sure have target splits that they're going to want to try to hit. And they'll be helped and aided in that by coaches sometimes on the sideline. Also, the lap counters can help them stay on target as well.
Coaches are monitoring stroke count, stroke pace, distance off walls. How are they setting up their stroke off each wall? When they come off that turn, do they struggle, do they twist, or do they gradually flow into their tempo and their rhythm of their stroke? So that transition from underwater to the top of the water is key in any race, any distance.
Well, they're starting to lengthen her advantage a little bit, it looks like here, as she gets ready to complete 300 meters. Moving in now, we're going to have a three-way battle for second here. Yak still holds a spot in lane 7, but lanes 3 and 4 moving in on her. We got Reese Anderson in 3 and Brooklyn Rager in 4.
Weller right now is holding 35.6 range, somewhere around in there. That's not that far off Haley Morris's time, so let's see what she does.
Well, her teammate of Morris, both swim for the Carmel Swim Club. And 17:39.72 was that time for Morris in the first heat here for the 13-14 girls 1500 meter freestyle time final.
Again, this is not an event that's swum traditionally throughout the year, so maybe once or twice in the summer, if that. So many of these young athletes are getting their best experience at our championship meets. So when it's offered, the 1500 and the 800 are offered, they're primed and prepared more at the end of the season for this event.
Well, they're going to make the turn here. 8 laps complete. Took the lead right around 200 meters here in the early stages of the race and is going to lengthen her lead. In second place now in lane 4 is Rager from Fishers area.
We've seen some great races on the first 2 heats that we've watched. We're not seeing anything less than that now. Watch your favorite swimmer sometimes on the scoreboard as well as in the pool. It isn't about where they are in racing somebody else, it's where they are in racing themselves and how consistent they can be in this race and executing a race plan. That's pretty big effort. It is not always about trying harder, it's about trying to execute what coach asks them to do, and you will see great dividends off of it.
Weller continuing to lead here in lane 5. Getting ready to complete 500 meters here.
Third of the race
5.
completed. 35.92, still holding under that 36 mark. That's pretty solid.
Comes second place Rager in lane 4 through 500 meters. 36.81 her 50 split.
How much effort does it take for you to go fast? Really stretching out that lead here in heat number 2 is our leader, Weller.
About ready to complete 600 meters. Let's see what 50 split here is. 36.20 for Weller. We'll see what Rager has for the 50 split here on. She makes the turn at 600 meters in lane 4.
You know, again, it's hundreds of seconds that separate turns and times because it's a flip turn to a flip turn. If you take a quick breath into a wall as an example, you're really swimming 35 pace, but it shows up at a 36 because of what you did going into the wall to slow down that momentum of the turn.
Rager, second place, was just a tick over 37 seconds. 50 split. So Weller the leader, followed by Rager in lane 4 and second. And then in third in lane 3 is Reese Anderson. Fourth place in lane 7 is Yak. Yak was your early leader. There in the right-hand corner of your screen is the top 8 finishers for the 13-14 girls in the 50-meter backstroke event. And, just a quick reminder, you can go to Meet Mobile, the Meet Mobile app, for all results from this event. Those results on Meet Mobile not official. The official results are those posted here in the concourse at the IU Natatorium. .800 meters complete for your leader, Helena Weller. And Reese Anderson is hanging right with Rager here. Got a body length behind the second place Rager, who just made the turn in lane 4, followed by Anderson.
So Weller still our leader at the far end. 35. Is that a 35? 36.
36.09.
36.09. Weller right on her splits. And then our battle in lanes 3 and 4.
For second. Rager's been in second most of the race, but as I said, Anderson is hanging about a body length back of her.
And there's Weller with her turn 36.24. She came in seated with a time of 19.05. Looks like she's on much faster pace than that.
Rager now in lane 4 goes through 900 meters. 37.74 her split to a 37.19 for Anderson. So Anderson just a little bit quicker. Fourth place in lane 7 is Caitlin Yak. Here in heat 2, 13-14 girls 1500 meter freestyle time final.
Weller 36.2. Pretty consistent on those splits.
Thousand-meter turn coming up for your leader, Weller. Anderson is definitely closing in on Rager for second, coming in here to the 1,000-meter wall. Looks like the two may turn simultaneous here, lanes 3 and 4.
I think those were the same two lanes we saw racing in the last heat, wasn't it?
I think you are right on that. Yeah, that last boys 1500 was lanes 3 and 4. That was for third place most of that race. Now we've got in the upper right-hand corner of your screen here, this is the top 8 finishers for the boys in the 13-14 boys 50-meter backstroke. So a good battle for second here is Anderson has now moved into second, just slightly ahead of Rager. Coming up on 6 laps to go, I believe, here for your leader, Helena Weller in lane 5.
See what she's splitting now. 36.37. Closing speed time. This could be good enough for a second place finish the way it looks now. But we saw some really good races in the fastest heat, seeded heat anyway, so let's see.
Yeah, Rager's battled back now on Anderson. She had lost the lead, or the battle for second, had lost second place briefly to Anderson, but now has pulled back beside her here. And that battle for second still very tight there, lanes 3 and 4.
Pretty consistent throughout the whole race is lane number 7. That's Caitlin Yak from Fort Wayne having a good swim too. Just all by herself out here, but she's putting it together.
She's been pretty much by her lonesome the whole way. Is in 4th place.
There's your leader in the mid pools. You see the swimmers cross. Check our leaders split here. 36.44.
4 laps to go for Helena Weller. She'll get the bell next time by at the starting block. Yeah.
There's some great racing going on in the rest of the field.
And Anderson and Rager continue to be side by side, stroke for stroke now, coming up on 4 laps to go here. Those two in lanes 3 and 4.
There's Caitlin Yak down here in lane number 7 having a solid swim. And there is your leader, Helena Weller, mid-pool. This bell lap coming up?
It is. So here's the bell for your leader, Helena Weller. 2 lengths to the pool left here in lane 5. She's took the lead
35.82 on that split.
around 200 meters or so early in the race from Yak and has led the rest of the way. Now surging a little bit clearly to a clear advantage in second place is Reese Anderson in lane 3, pulling out to about a body length lead over Rager. Those two will get the bell here momentarily. The bell for both Anderson and Rager. Final turn is complete for your leader, Weller, in 5. The time to beat is 17:39.72.
There is your leader coming in. Time to beat is what?
17:39.72. She's not going to quite get there, but it's going to have a big, big time drop from what her seed time is. Elena Weller going to win this second heat, 13-14 girls 1500 in a time of 17:55.44. Seeded over 19 minutes, so great swim. Now coming back is Rager, as she has battled back now against Anderson here with a half a lap to go in this battle for second.
How often we've seen that happen in the last few weeks. It's just amazing how there's no quitting these young ladies.
And it looks like Brooklyn Rager in lane 4 is going to get second in this heat. And does so in a time of 17:55, or excuse me, 18:32.54. 18:32.54 for Rager. 18:33.63 for Anderson. So Haley Morris from Carmel will continue to lead with one heat left here in the 1500 for the women. Flanagan in lane 1 to finish up her race, and then we'll be on to second heat of time finals, 13-14 boys, 1500 meter freestyle. Also lane 8 finishing her race as well. Fourth. Heat 2, 13-14 boys, 1500 meter freestyle. In lane 2, we'll have Jack Reeder, 13-year-old from the Valparaiso Swim Club. Lane 3, Micah Rodenizer, 14-year-old from Fort Wayne. Lane 4, Dash Leonard is a 14-year-old from Paysetter Aquatics. Lane 5, Sawyer Green Whitehead, 14-year-old from the Southeastern Swim Club. Lane 6 is Ruben Papavicu, 14-year-old from Center Grove Aquatic Club. And in lane 7, Hudson Hembry, 14-year-old from Northridge Area Swimming Association. Wyatt Jones set the time to beat from the first heat in this event. His time was 16:50.97.
And people may wonder why we're alternating the 50s of stroke and the 1500s. Well, courtesy rest is usually 15 to 20 minutes, so we're kind of building in courtesy rest. So when there may be swimmers, we saw this already, swimmers swimming more than 150 of stroke this evening. So there's built-in rest periods as the athletes watch the 1500s. Their teammates cheer on their teammates in the 1500 and they cheer back. So each athlete swimming the 50 of stroke has that time in between the events to be able to rest and prepare for the next 50 of stroke if that's what they're doing.
Early lead here in this heat looks like it's being established in lane 4. That's Dash Leonard.
Remember, these are all 13-14 events tonight. We did the overall meet itself, added one more event that's allowable for the athletes to swim. Traditionally, there's been 6 events total for the meet. with the addition of the 50s of stroke, now the 13-14s are allowed 7 events throughout the whole meet. No more than 3 by rule per day in a prelims final meet.
Continuing to lead here in lane 4 is Leonard from pace setter. And he's followed just above him by Rodenheiser in lane 3 and Reeder in lane 2.
So we've got a pretty good competitive field here. 3 guys taking this race out nice and smooth. Trying to execute the build into the first 400, the first third of the race, whatever your coach tries to get you to focus on.
And then not too far back here in lane 5 as well is Sawyer Green Whitehead.
See what your leader splits here. Split of 36-3, 36-5, 36-7 across the board for your top 3. So just within tenths of seconds, how do you win a close race? Have better turns in the 1500. Turns aren't about just going faster. Turns about being consistent. Keeping that heart rate nice and steady. Keeps everything rhythmical throughout the race. No starting and stopping each 50 or 100.
So those top 3 still right together here. Dash Leonard in 4 leading it, followed by Michael Rodenheiser in 3 and Jack Reeder in 2.
Tightening up a little bit.
Yeah, here comes Rodenheiser. Looks like he wants to take over the lead here in lane 3. Halfway split is, or the split there on the 50, 36-20 for Rodenheiser. They had Leonard officially with 37-62.
One of the most interesting things for athletes to do in a swim practice, no less a swim race, is trying to hit the same turn on every wall. You know, that's it. Kids in practice, circle swimming, swimmers in front of them all the time. It's always a challenge to try to hit a perfect turn. You know, that's when you're racing in a wavy pool with 8 kids in a lane. It's not always easy. But in the meet itself, in a facility like the Nat, where it has just great lighting, where you can really see the lines on the bottom of the pool and the walls upcoming, really gives you the opportunity to be able to execute racing turns and not necessarily just practice turns. Is that lane number 5 coming up? Looks like he's making a move. That happens to be Sawyer
Green Whitehead.
He's coming up strong. What do you split there?
38-7-9 is what it said.
I think he's faster than that. That's again one of those anomalies when it comes to splits occasionally in the race. You know, sometimes an athlete will miss a touchpad. It's kind of hard to do in this facility, but will miss the touchpad, flipping the corner of the lane, and the touchpad doesn't shut off until maybe your back foot hits it. And you see, why is that turn any different? It's kind of sometimes where you made contact with the touchpad.
Yeah, starting to try and pull away now is Rodenizer in lane 3. Coming up on the 600 wall for Rodenizer. Battle for second here, lanes 2 and 4. Reeder in 2 and Leonard in 4.
Nobody's out of the top 4 right now. Having a solid race over here in lane number 6 as well. From Center Grove, Ruben building into his 800.
Rodenizer leader tried to moved out to the lead, I would say the 500-meter mark. In lane 3. And the time to beat is 16:50.97 here. Posted by Wyatt Jones in the first heat of this event. 13-14 boys 1500-meter freestyle time final.
Sawyer Green Whitehead over there in 5, starting to inch up slowly but surely every 50.
Yeah, he's gotten about a body length of Dash Leonard, who's in 3rd place in this heat.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a 39.32 out of him. He's moving
Yeah.
up on people that are going faster on the board, so not sure what that is, but he's obviously at the same pace or faster than some of the swimmers that are ahead of him.
.800-meter wall coming up at the starting block end this time for Rodenizer from Fort Wayne.
See, that Sawyer Green Whitehead had a 32 on that end, so something's not right with the splits. We saw that happen a couple times tonight.
Looks like Green Whitehead in lane 5 has gotten around Dash Leonard for that 3rd spot. 2nd spot in the heat here, Reeder in lane 2 is not that far ahead of him either.
Time when the athletes follow that race plan by their coach and actually have them gradually build in, find your stroke, consistent heart rate, nice relaxed breathing. You'll see how much more energy and legs they have at the end of the race. Just by executing that race plan. Green Whitehead is going to battle for second in this heat.
900-meter turn coming up here for Micah Rodenizer, leader in lane 3.
See what Micah's split is here.
36.97.
Let's see what second place split. 37.01, 37.10. Sawyer Green Whitehead actually had, I think, a good split on that one, and then Dash Leonard didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. Either swimming great. You know, when they're that close together, they're only tenths of seconds apart. Down here in lane number 6.
Yeah, Papavicu in lane 6. He's pretty much, this race has been raced by himself so far the whole way. So
he's solid though. He's not quitting. He's really into it. Following the coaches on
Yeah,
the sideline
exactly.
sometimes.
Following that race plan that he established before the race.
Now, we've seen a couple races where an athlete has pulled ahead and then the athlete that they passed all of a sudden finds that next gear. We may see this at the end of the race as well.
Yeah, Dash Leonard is trying to stay with Whitehead now. Perhaps the two of them might get up there and battle Reeder for that second spot here.
Sometimes you just need a race. You know, you get out there by yourself. You need somebody to push you through the back half. Micah, 36.6.
Just through 1,000 meters now.
Dash
20 laps down.
Dash Leonard, 36.6. So he picked it up, got back in the hunt. He did answer back. Look at this. It's almost right on cue.
Yeah, Dash Leonard's taking the spot back. And
Dash really split at 35.3. That was one of the fastest splits in this race so far.
Yeah, he's got third place back. Tell you what, all three of them, Reeder, Leonard, and Whitehead, are actually not that far behind Rodenizer here.
No, they've got some closing speed here. There's still plenty of time left. Rodenizer's still holding consistent, 36.9 there. 37.1 for Reeder, 37.6, 38.8. That again, folks, that can come from turns. You get faster through the consistency, not through one effort. Right now, do we say that Reeder's got the best shot at catching Rodenizer? In the middle of the pool, though, is Dash Leonard. Let's see what he splits here.
According to the scoreboard, Reeder was the fastest swimmer in the pool in that last 50 in lane 2 by about 4/100ths over Leonard. Coming up on 6 laps to go here for your leader, Michael Rodenizer. Heat 2, 13-14 boys, 1,500 meter free. Here comes Leonard now, closing in on Reeder for second spot in the heat.
They can see it when they get inside the red zone and you can see somebody in the red zone with you, you know you're catching them and the race is on. If you're in the red zone and you don't see your competition, then you know you're not there. But it's just a visual cue that, yeah, maybe I've got a shot at this.
Now both of them maybe have their sights on maybe trying to win the heat. They're trying to close to within a body length of Rodenizer.
I would say both of them have them in their sight. Now watch this red zone here. Here they're in the red zone, so when they flip, they see their competition. I say, well, now I'm on the feet of my competition. And if I'm on their feet, I'm going to do a little NASCAR drafting here maybe and get over next to the lane line, right?
And so far, Leonard staying in the middle of the pool here.
I don't know, he's coming.
Yeah, he is coming on Rodenizer. So is Reeder. They're both just about a body length behind Rodenizer here. Coming up on 4 laps to go. It is Rodenizer in front, followed by Leonard. Lanes 3 and 4.
Oh, it's turning into a race. It's always been a race, but it's been a closer race. These guys have been within striking distance the whole time. Wouldn't count out Reeder either. He keeps looking. You can tell he's looking for his competition. To the north-south picture of the IU Natatorium a lot today.
Yeah, that lap counter now for Rodenizer, I was going to say, does he start pumping that board up and down in the water. He did that time to perhaps let him know that the competition's coming here.
I think he responded.
Yeah. Coming up on the bell lap, Rodenheiser with the lead here in lane 3.
Keep an eye on the field. One of the more exciting races of the evening right here.
Dash Leonard closing about within a half a body length now of Rodenheiser, going into the wall here. 100 meters left.
Oh, the coaches are getting excited.
Race is on. Still Rodenheiser out in front of Leonard here in heat 2, or in the heat 2 of the 1500, followed by Reeder in lane 1.
Oh, baby. Match race time in the 1500.
Yeah, they're both now closing. They're both now up against that lane line, so they must be trying to draft now on coming home here. Rodenheiser in 3 and Leonard in 4, making the final turn. Here it is.
Oh, dead even splits. Rodenheiser, though, 34.28 on that split. Who's got the closing speed?
On a half lap to go. Rodenheiser looks like he's maybe lengthening it out just a hair with a half a lap to go over Leonard, because what's Leonard have left now coming up with 15 meters to go?
They both look really solid.
Yeah, here
right
comes
now.
Leonard right back now.
Holy cow.
Now another burst out of both of them here coming inside 5 meters. Looks like Leonard may have surged ahead here in lane 4.
Head down, head down.
And it is going to be Dash Leonard in lane 4, winning the heat in a time of 18:16.37. Rodenheiser second in the heat, 18:16.62. Getting third in lane 2 was Jack Reeder, 18:20.19.
Nice swim. Great back half for Sawyer Green Whitehead as well.
Gets 4th place in the heat, 18:26.01.
Lane number 6. Kind of unnoticed, but had a solid swim as well.
And Papavichu. 5th place for him, 18:33 flat was his time. So Wyatt Jones will continue to lead with 1 heat left, 16:50.97 in this event.
All right, now following suit, everybody in this heat. Great effort, gentlemen. Outstanding swims. Back to the other end of the pool now. Start end for the 13-14 girls 50 breaststroke.
And we got Hudson finishing his race here
There he is.
in lane 7. And now we'll go to the other end for 13-14 girls 50-meter breaststroke event 7. Time final, 5 heats of time finals. Again, in these 50-meter races we saw butterfly, backstroke, and now breaststroke, new events to the meet this year here. The 2025 Indiana Swimming Age Group Long Course Championships, sponsored by Speedo. In heat 1, in lane 3, it'll be Maddie Lynn, 13-year-old from the Munster Swim Club. Lane 4 is Emily Wilhelm, 13-year-old from the Noblesville Swim Club. And in lane 5, Zoe Bratcher, 13-year-old from Franklin Regional. 1 length of the pool breaststroke.
Power off the breaststroke underwater pullout, and the timing as you build to the top, the breakout, so much more important in a sprint race. But you can't lose your stroke. You can get past in the last 5 meters. If you want to see great 50s, watch the last 5 meters. It doesn't matter who's leading at the 25. There's no wall in the middle here.
Looks like lane 3 here. It's Lynn from Munster coming in inside the flags, the final 5 meters.
Really held a solid stroke tempo.
And she takes the win in a 37.83 in heat 1. Establishes the time to beat. In heat 2, lane 1 will be Rebecca Maya Murguia, 13-year-old from Club Olympia. Lane 3, Mackenzie Fleck, 13-year-old from the Southeastern Swim Club. Lane 3, Kenley Gentry, 13-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 4 is Natalie Gladeau, 13-year-old from the Southeastern Swim Club. Lane 5, Addie Getler, 14-year-old from Noblesville Swim Club. Lane 6 is Peyton Nelson, 13-year-old from Northridge area. Lane 7, Leah Castle, 14-year-old from the Lake Central Barracudas. And in lane 8, Erin Irwin, 13-year-old from Greenfield Community Aquatic. Great race here inside 15 meters. See who surges inside the final 5 meters here. And gets in there first. It's going to be Getler in lane 5 from Noblesville with a time of 38:08. Heat 3, lane 1 will be Quinn Padilla, 13-year-old from Crown Point Swim Club. Lane 2, Kara Jones, 13-year-old from Flashes Aquatics. Lane 3, Jada Wong, 14-year-old from Boilermaker. Lane 4, Caitlin Lee, 14-year-old from Center Grove Aquatic Club. Lane 5, Ella Hillhouse, 14-year-old from Greater Evansville. Lane 6 is Lainey Johnson, 13-year-old from Plainfield Community. Lane 7 is Shanna Fowler, 14-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. And in lane 8, Ardiel Gunther, 14-year-old from Irish Aquatics. 37:83 the time to beat here in the time final.
Bottom of our screen. Last 5 meters.
Watch the top of your screen here. Maybe a surge out of lane 2. It is going to be Cara Jones in lane 2 who takes the win at a time of 36:20. So she moves into the lead in the event.
Nice split, nice swim there. Good last 5 meters, good driving. Inside the flags.
Heat 4, lane 1 will be Emily Smith, 14-year-old from the Highland Hurricanes. Lane 2, Taylor Ryan, 14-year-old from Duneland. Lane 3, Melina Williams, 13-year-old from Fort Lane. Lane 4 will be Noah Kaleli, 14-year-old from Riviera. Lane 5, Harper Stone, 14-year-old from Franklin Regional. Lane 6 is Presley Barker, 13-year-old from the Southeastern Swim Club. Lane 7, Ruby Hines, 14-year-old from Fishers area. And in lane 8, Kaylee Niehaus, 14-year-old from Greater Evansville. Meters to go. Maybe lane 2 with the lead here. Ryan from Duneland. Here comes lanes 3 and 4 though. And inside the final 5 meters here. Looks like it may be lane 4 who takes the win. That she does. That's Noah Kalili. 35:43 her time as she moves into the lead in the event.
Got a beautiful stroke. It's kept everything moving forward on that stroke.
Heat 5, lane 1 will be Delaney Miller, 14-year-old from the Southeastern Swim Club. Lane 2, Crystal Tang, 13-year-old from Indiana Swim Club. Lane 3, Madeline Yonkis, 14-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 4, Sydney Ermel, 13-year-old Carmel Swim Club. Lane 5 is Eliza Shop, 14-year-old from Greenwood Gators. Lane 6, Evelyn Freitag, 13-year-old from Greater Evansville. Lane 7, Larkin Lee, 14-year-old from Fishers area. And lane 8, Delaney Sweeney, 13-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. This is the fastest seeded heat. Time to beat 35:43. 15 meters to go. Maybe lane 4 out in front here. Irma from Carmel. And it looks like she is going to take the win in this final heat. Sydney Irma goes a 34:08. And she's going to win the event with that swim, 34:08. And that'll officially be the meet record for this event.
Boy, was she smooth on top of the water. No wasted motion in her stroke.
Next up, event 8, 13-14 boys, 50-meter breaststroke. We'll have 5 heats of time finals. In heat 1, lane 2 will be Boyd Wells, 14-year-old from Flashes Aquatics. Lane 2 is Jack Felver, 14-year-old from Greenfield Community Aquatic. Lane 4, Francis Wong, 13-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 5 is Luke Chang, 13-year-old from Boilermaker Aquatics. And in lane 6, Asher Allen, 14-year-old from Pike Township. Lane 6 with the early lead. Allen from Pike Township, 15 meters to go. Here comes lane 2 now. Wells from Flashes. It's going to be lane 6 winning this opening heat. That's Allen in a time of 33.51. So Asher Allen sets a time to beat now for heat 2 and the rest of the field. In lane 1 of heat 2 will be Wayland Augustniak, 14-year-old from Flashes Aquatics. Lane 2 is Grayson Wells, 14-year-old from the Michiana Marlins. Lane 3 is Joshua Lim, 13-year-old from Fishers area. Lane 4 will be Alexi Johnson, 14-year-old Munster Swim Club. Lane 5, Gabriel Marchione, 14-year-old from Indiana Swim Club. Lane 6 is Caden Ellis, 14-year-old from the Noblesville Swim Club. Lane 7, Xander Weigel, 14-year-old from Duneland. And in lane 8, Jack Deerholt, 13-year-old from Zionsville. Now lane 2, looked like he was shot out of a cannon, Grayson Wells. Grayson looks like he's going to win this heat up there in lane 2. 33.45 is his time as he moves into the lead. Wide going it was Marchione in lane 5, second in that heat. Heat 3 now. Lane 1 will be Daniel Ding, 14-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 2 is Hudson Wilhelm, 14-year-old from Avon Community. Lane 3, Austin Young, 13-year-old from Fort Wayne. Lane 4 is Luke Bromus, 13-year-old from Riviera. Lane 5 is Blake Waldo, 13-year-old from Fort Wayne. Lane 6, Justin Yang, 14-year-old from Portage Porpoise. Lane 7 is Cannon Swinehart, 14-year-old from Warsaw Aquatic. And in lane 8, we have Andrew Jersick, 13-year-old from the Munster Swim Club. .15-meter mark, looks like lane 4. Brahmas out in front. And Brahmas will win this heat from Riviera in a time of 33.18. It's the new fastest time. And moves us into heat 4 now here. 13-14 boys, 50-meter breaststroke time final. In lane 1, Eli Creekbaum, 14-year-old from the Noblesville Swim Club. Lane 2 is Andrew Espiritu Jorsic, 13-year-old from the Munster Swim Club. Lane 3, Jackson Clem, 14-year-old from Greater Evansville. Lane 4, Brecken Luckett, 14-year-old from Fort Wayne. Lane 5 is Matthew Laneman, a 14-year-old Michiana Marlins. Lane 6 is Zachary Williams, 13-year-old from Westfield Aquatics. Lane 7, Ranger Bray, 14-year-old from Plainfield Community. And lane 8, Aiden Guzzo, 14-year-old from the Duneland Swim Club. Top of your screen here, it looks like it's Creekbaum with the lead. Coming up on 15 meters to go. And Eli is really moving out there in 1. Let's see if lane 4 can close a little bit here. Luckett at the finish. Here comes lane 3 as well. At the wall, who's going to get in there? Creekbaum will hold on in lane 1 to take the win in a time of 33.11 in the heat. And that does move him into the lead now with 1 heat to go here. Heat 5. 13-14 boys, 50-meter breaststroke time final. Fastest seeded heat is this heat. Lane 1, Mark Mayo, 14-year-old from the Munster Swim Club. Lane 2 is Deuce Calloway, 14-year-old from Franklin Regional. Lane 3, we have Blake Hadley, a 13-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 4, Landon Williams, 13-year-old from Elkhart United. Lane 5 is Lucas Steffen, 14-year-old from Franklin Regional. Lane 6, Cole Meyer, 14-year-old Zionsville Swim Club. Lane 7, Adrian Byfield, 14-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. His teammate is in lane 8, Dylan Zhao. Dylan is a 13-year-old. A great start here, lane 4 by Williams from Elkhart United. Great power from him.
He set a couple age group records in the state of Indiana, so this may be another one right now.
Landon Williams looks like he's going to be on his way to winning this event when he stops the clock in a winning time of 30.20 to win the event in the 13-14 boys 50-meter breaststroke event. And getting second in lane 3 was Blake Hadley in a time of 32.63. That should be good enough for second overall in this event.
One more event tonight to be swum before we can present the awards for the 1500s. It's a mixed heat.
Yeah, it is. It's a mixed heat, as Tony said. 13-14-year-olds in the 1500-meter freestyle. In lane 1, we'll have Kate Swistic. She's a 14-year-old from Dunedin. In lane 2, Evelyn Fagey, 13-year-old from Noblesville Swim Club. Lane 3 is Cora Irwin, 13-year-old from Riverside. So the women are in lanes 1 through 3. Lane 6 will be Hunter Sines, 14-year-old from the Highland Hurricanes. Lane 7, Zach Biddle, 14-year-old from the Noblesville Swim Club. And in lane 8, Noah Terrell, 13-year-old from Fishers Area Swimming Tigers.
So our scoreboard's not going to have the boys who are going to be 6, 7, and 8. You notice there's a couple lanes difference in between them. So Eric's going to keep you kind of updated on lanes 6, 7, and 8 and who's swimming in those lanes. Somehow they didn't make it up on this scoreboard here.
13-14 girls are in lanes 1, 2, and 3. 13-14 boys in lanes 6, 7, and 8. And the time to beat in the girls' competition is 17:39.72. Time belongs to Haley Morris. On the boys' side, Wyatt Jones leads the event in a time of 16:50.97.
So it'll be a little bit more difficult for us to follow the leaders here because we have two different genders in the pool. We'll do our best.
Yep, leading the boys' heat here early in lane 6 is Biddle from Noblesville. For the opening 100 meters, looks like on the girls' side in lane 1, it's going to be Swistic from Dunedin.
Try to keep track of who is the fastest splits, both on the girls and the boys' side.
Speedo is an official sponsor of the Indiana Swimming LSC and all championship meets, as is the Elsmore Swim Shop. Elsmore Swim Shop is an official supplier, sponsor of Indiana Swimming and Team Indiana. Today's broadcast brought to you by Indiana Swimming. Indiana Swimming is one of the 59 local swimming committees that make up USA Swimming. Indiana Swimming would like to wish all this weekend's competitors good luck and fast times. Indiana Swimming, creating opportunities for swimmers to realize their dreams. And moving out to a rather sizable lead here on the boys' competition here in this heat in lane 6 is Hunter Sines from Highland. Pretty sizable lead as well for Swistic in lane 1 on the girls' race. Mixed heat. And our final race of this opening session here, the 2025 Indiana Swimming Age Group Long Course Championship, sponsored by Speedo, Thursday evening, an all 13-14-year-old session and all-time final events.
Something new added to our age group long course championships. We're going to see 3 full days of prelims and finals racing coming up, including 10 and under sessions in between on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yep, prelims tomorrow morning here at the IU Natatorium on Friday. Going to get underway at 8 a.m. Signs leading out in lane 6, continuing on the boys' side here in this heat. Ahead of Terrell in lane 8 from Fishers area.
Top of our screen, some outside smokes from Kate Swistic from Dunedin in this heat.
Yeah, she's moved well out in front of the other two competitors, Fagey and Irwin, in this heat.
Trying to work her way into scoring position. may be the podium. You never know.
6 laps are complete for Signs, and he's heading down now to the turn and completion of lap 7.
Let's take a look at his split here. .37.65. See how consistent he becomes throughout the remainder of this race. 38.19 in second, 39.07, 38.45 for Kate Swistick at the top of your scoreboard.
In a time final event, so these 6 athletes in this heat eligible if their times are fast enough to get a scoring position, which they score down to 16 places this weekend. 2 races here. The girls 13-14, 1500, and the boys 13-14, 1500 in this heat.
Trying to get a snapshot of everybody in the race. Got to follow your favorite swimmers on the scoreboard up in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. We got 3 lanes 1, 2, and 3 are all young girls, and 6, 7, and 8 all young men, boys. .37.6 again for your leader. That's Signs from HHSC.
Yeah, Signs built up a big lead right after the opening 100. He's continued to build it here a little bit. Terrell in lane 8, he's broken away from Biddle there. Those two were battling early.
7.41, pretty consistent. Top of our screen being very consistent as well as Kate Swistick. Solid outside smoke there, 38.36. It is a blessing or a curse, however you want to look at it, having your coach right there on the sidelines. It'll keep you moving. I can't call it a record-breaking night, but we can call it a record-setting night, right?
Yeah, because of the 350s, new events. I believe 12 laps complete now for your leader Hunter Signs here at the starting block end in the boys race.
You know, one of the objectives for every athlete in this field is trying to repeat the cut. You know, when you have the opportunity, let's say that these young folks make the time standard, improve their time, make the time standard, they do qualify for next year. What it also does is help you qualify for open water championships. There's a lot of things that go on in this race, as well as the 800 is swum in the middle of the 1500. So we know that's swum on Sunday as an event. And I think last week you were looking back at those 800 splits during the 1500 to see if they were going to beat their 800 splits on the way out. Yes, we were at the senior championships in Bloomington, Indiana last week.
Signs coming up on the 700-meter wall here, lane 6.
He's been holding right at those 37 splits. Let's see if he can stay consistent. Again, those are turns, how those heels come over the top quickly. Strong push-off and glide. 38.1, he's right there.
See what Terrell's split, 50 split is in down lane 8. 37.86, so he's a little bit quicker now than your leader Signs in the boys race.
And 38.61, about the same for the young girls leader, Kate Swistick, staying pretty consistent across the board. Solid turns in a 1500. Those red zones, you watch them swim inside the red zone where the laps or the lane lines become red. You can see the athletes keeping their position in the middle of the lane, head down, hips right over the top, out past the flags before starting that first stroke. You know, their body line is there and they're gradually exhaling off the wall. You know, it's really difficult to understand how to explain when everybody breathes off a wall or into a, you know, underneath. When they're doing a flip turn, not everybody does the same, but when we watch this next turn coming up here for your leader, many of the athletes will hold their breath all the way through a flip turn and then try to exhale on the breakout. Some will actually gradually exhale because they're not forcing the turn. It's a nice relaxed turn, so they're actually gradually exhaling out their nose here. So when they come up, they've got a full breath of air. They're not didn't half exhale. Kate Swistick, well, she's hanging in there, 38.4. She's just being really consistent.
Yeah, great job for her because, I mean, obviously this race strategy is all from training because she's had nobody to swim against out there the whole race so far.
But her coach Jenny's getting a workout, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Getting her steps in. She is walking the 1500. Sometimes if they're fast, you got to run with them. 38.00 for your leader. That's Hunter Signs from Highland.
Like these 50-meter splits here between Signs and lane 8 Terrell. 38.29 for Signs, 37.30 for Terrell. So Terrell still quicker here in lane 8. Still got a little ways to go to get up there to challenge Signs for the lead. There are your top 8 finishers in the women's 50 or girls 50-meter breaststroke.
There's your leader to the wall, Signs. Simultaneously, we have the awards going on as Signs, your leader, into the wall.
Let's see, we might be able to get Mike Miles here for the boys.
We got a race going on.
In 8th place, Greater Evansville Aquatic, Jackson Clem. 7th place from Riviera Swim Team, Luke Bramas. 6th place from Fort Wayne Swim Team, Brecken Luckett. 5th place from Noblesville Swim Club, Eli Creekbaum. 4th place from Zionsville Swim Club, Cole Meyer. 3rd place from Munster Swim Club, Mark Mao. 2nd place from Carmel Swim Club, Blake Hadley. And the 2025 Indiana Age Group Long Course Champion and 13-14 Boys 50 Breaststroke, Elkhart United Aquatics, Landon Williams, in a time of 30.20.
And we'll remind everybody, you can go to Meet Mobile, check out all the results this weekend here from the IU Natatorium at this event.
I think we've got now if I'm not mistaken, down at the bottom of our screen, Noah Terrell has been making a move.
Yeah, he's
catching up to Signs.
He's been consistently a little bit quicker than Signs on these 50s, so he is definitely catching him.
37.32. 37.75.
Yep. It looked like that time maybe Signs picked it up just a hair. And
Top of our screen is Swistik from Duneland, still holding right at the 38 mark per 50 split. A little bit of a race developing on the boys' side in lanes 6, 7, and 8. Remind everybody who's in 6, 7, and 8.
yes, Hunter Signs is in lane 6. He's led this race all the way on the boys' side. Zach Biddle in 7 and Terrell in second. Or in 8. He's in second place in this heat. Coming up on 6 laps to go now for Hunter Signs in lane 6 here in the 1500.
You see the race developing in lanes 6 and 8. Watch the turns in the red zone. There's your leader. Head straight down, hips right over the top. Solid push off past the flags. That makes a lot of difference when you're trying to maintain a lead. No stroke until he's past the flags. We'll have the 1500 awards after this heat. It's a time final event, so we have to complete all heats of the 1500 before awarding them. $37.40 by Signs. He's kind of picked it up. $37.5 though for Terrell. He's hanging right in there. His splits are getting a little bit faster as he goes.
Your leader in the 13-14 boys 1500 meter freestyle competition here. Time final is Wyatt Jones, 16:50.97, and on the 13-14 girls side, Haley Morris for the time of 17:39.72. Those are the times to beat. Coming up on 4 laps to go now for Hunter Signs here in lane 6.
37.40 on that split. Staying pretty consistent, 37.45. Only 5/100ths difference between our two leaders on the boys' side in 6, 7, and 8. Top of our screen in lane number 1 as she comes into her turn at the start end. Kate Swistik trying to make her way into the top 16 and score some points potentially. Looks like her teammates and her coaches are trying to get her to get some energy on the back half of this swim and push it hard through.
Came in seed time of 19:01. That was a yard time for Swistik.
Again, these athletes trying to make this 13-14 cut in meters, so they already qualify for this event next year. Sometimes these times do qualify them to be seated higher in an invitational throughout the year as well. So the faster the time sometimes gets you a night swim.
Here's the bell for Hunter Signs, who's leading the boys race in this heat in lane 6.
Yeah, he's bringing it down, 37.1. He's got some good closing speed here.
And now the bell for Terrell in lane 8.
37.3, he as well. Closing out the race as well.
Swistik's got about 15 meters left, and she'll get the bell. In lane 1, in the girls' race, there's the bell.
Yep, coaches' encouragement sometimes pays off on that last 100 when your legs are tired. 36.77 by Signs. He is bringing it home. 37.19 for Terrell. That's his fastest split in the back half.
It's under half a lap left now for Hunter Signs, 14-year-old from the Highland Hurricanes.
Good solid swim all by himself most of the race.
And he's going to win the heat in a time of 18:36.55.
Good swim by Terrell as well.
Terrell with a 18:44.34. Swistic in the girls' race here with 15 meters to go in lane 1. Let's see what Swistic time is. It's going to be, it's like 19:06.80 for Swistic. And we got a couple of athletes still to finish their race here in the girls' race. Faggy in 2 and Irwin in 3, and then we'll have awards in the 1500.
They seem to be pushing themselves through the back half. I think they see each other.
Their final turn coming up down at the north end of the pool here at the IU Natatorium.
Tight race here. You might as well make it worthwhile. Race each other hard at the end. No quitting on these two young ladies.
And it looks like it's going to be Evelyn Faggy who wins that battle of the wall. And with that, competition is complete here on this Thursday evening here at the IU Natatorium at the 2025 Indiana Swimming Age Group Long Course Championship sponsored by Speedo. We'll be going down to Mike Miles here in a few moments with our awards presentations for the 1500. It looks like Max Schroeder will win the boys event, 16:50.97 for him.
I don't think it's Max.
Or I'm sorry, Wyatt Jones. Yeah, Wyatt
Jones.
Jones. 16:50.97 will be Wyatt Jones, and then 17:39.72 for Haley Morris.
Thanks to all of our, obviously our hosts, Flashes Aquatics, for getting everything off to a great start. Our officials have really helped make this session move pretty quickly. We're going to be done in less than 3 hours, which is pretty good for a start of a meet. You know, not overwhelming everybody on night 1, getting everybody into racing mode, get everybody checked in and situated in the meet. I think had a great first night here. Yes, we did set 3 records tonight. Didn't break 3 records, but we did set 3 records tonight.
Yeah, so actually a total of 6, right? 3 on the girls' side and 3 on the boys'
good call
side.
there.
13,
I like the
14,
number.
50 events.
6 is better than 3. It looks better on the social media.
So tomorrow morning, prelims start on Friday morning. We'll have it for you here on the Indiana Swimming YouTube channel. Order of events tomorrow, the 11, 12-year-olds, both genders, up first in the 100 free. All 13, 14-year-olds in the 200 free are up next. Then we'll move to events. That's 19 and 17 and 18 started off, 19 and 20. Then events 21 and 22, 11, 12-year-olds in the 100 breaststroke event. Same stroke and distance, events 23 and 24 for the 13, 14-year-olds in the 100 breast. Events 25 and 26, 11, 12-year-olds, 200 backstroke. Then I believe that's a time final. Then events 27 and 28, 13, 14-year-olds 100 butterfly. Events 29, 30, 11, 12-year-olds in the 50-meter butterfly. Then events 31, 32. This is all in the prelim session tomorrow morning. 13, 14-year-olds in the 400 IM. That'll be a time final. Our last three events will actually all be time finals. Events 33 and 34. 11, 12-year-olds compete in a 400 freestyle relay. And then we'll wrap up prelims tomorrow morning. Events 35 and 36. 13, 14-year-olds in the 400 medley relay. Or actually, the 11, 12-year-olds. That's the 400 free, not the relay. 400 free time final for the 11, 12-year-olds.
And those top 8 swimmers in that 400 free will swim at night. And we'll
Okay.
see, very similar to kind of what we've seen today, only the fastest seeded heat will swim at night. And it's a time final event, so same type of scenario. You got to wait till the end of the evening to know where you end up on the podium or where you end up scoring for your team.
So that's a look at tomorrow morning here at the IU Natatorium for the prelim session. Finals will be tomorrow night at 5 p.m., but then in between we'll have a 10 and under time final session at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. They'll have that for you as well on the Indiana Swimming YouTube channel.
That's always one of the more exciting sessions of the meet. You know, you're new to the sport, you're 9 years old, your parents, even 8 years old sometimes, they make the cut. Your first experience at a championship meet is at the IU Natatorium. I've seen kids walk in here and just look at it like it's the Empire State Building, you know?
Yeah.
And then others come in here and they just go, this is it. It's exciting to be here. You know, you see the Olympians' names on the wall and how colorful it is. And we got a theme night every night thanks to Flashers Aquatics, so it'll be fun. The music's all coordinated to us, some great graphics on the board from the IU staff, IU Natatorium staff. So look for a lot of fun over the next 3 days. You won't be disappointed. So right now you looked at your camera shots now on the podium. We're waiting for the results for the girls and boys, results for the top 8 medal winners in the 1500 freestyle. I had to complete all those heats throughout the session to make sure that the time final event was, I mean, we saw some really good swims in the last heat. I mean,
Yeah.
I think you see some of those young athletes will move into scoring position, maybe top 8, you never know. But there's a lot of, I've seen coaches use that strategy before. Sometimes even on relays, they'll swim in the morning instead of the afternoon. They'll come back at night just to kind of, you know, they're saving themselves for another event at night, or that's just their coach's strategy. We're just going to go for it with open water, and we're not going to worry about competition. We're just going to give it our all. And you see them win events from the morning session.
Scoring-wise, get 20 points for a win, score down to 16 places in each event. And relays are doubled, so there'll be 40 points there for a win.
One thing that the IU Natatorium offers is a great warm-up, warm-down facility and diving well. You see off to the right-hand side of the picture you have right now, lane lines in the diving well. Why do the kids love the diving well? It's a little bit warmer than the competition pool, so it's their favorite place to be sometimes.
Looks like still getting the athletes rounded up here for our awards presentation in the 1500 for both 13, 14 girls and boys.
To be honest, if we left it up to the kids, they know who they are. They'd get right up there.
These athletes go home and get rested up and get ready for a long day tomorrow here. Full schedule, prelim and final.
So one nice thing about a good night session like this, and if you look at our timelines throughout the weekend, they're pretty friendly. I mean, we're getting out of here before 7 o'clock or right at 7 o'clock. Gives the athletes plenty of time to get rested and fed. All right, medals are on their way.
We'll be heading down to the Voice of Pool Deck here, Mike Miles, in just a moment with the awards presentation. And I think we're about ready here with Mike.
So as we move through just the first session, there is no men and women scores. There are age group scores, so we'll give you the combined scores after the end of tonight.
Yeah, we get Carmel on top with 221 points. Zionsville in second, 131 points. Fishers Area Swimming Tigers in third, 130 points. Fort Wayne with fourth, 122 points. And in fifth place, Valparaiso Swim Club with 58 points. And we'll head down to Mike.
In eighth place from Valparaiso Swim Club, Reese Anderson. Seventh place from Fishers Area Swimming Tiger, Brooklyn Rager. Sixth place from Flashes Aquatics, Nora Hull. Fifth place from Noblesville Swim Club, Maya Preston. Fourth place from Flashes Aquatics, Isabel Cox. Third place from Carmel, Maria Daly. Second place from Carmel, Helena Weller. And 2025 Indiana Age Group Long Course Champion and 13-14 girls 1500 free from Carmel Swim Club, Haley Morris, in a time of 17:39.72.
Back down to Mike in just a minute with the boys. As there was a tie for fifth, as Franklin Regional was tied with Valparaiso. Early stages of this meet with 58 points. Duneland is in seventh with 50 points. Eighth place, Flashes Aquatics, 48.5 points. Ninth place is Graver Evansville Aquatic, 42.5 points. And in 10th place after day one of this meet, Noblesville with 36 points. Those are combined scores. Just one age group competing here today, 13, 14-year-olds.
Our photographer was a little late.
Back to Mike.
Gentlemen, there they are. In eighth place from Carmel Swim Club, Tyler Johnson. Seventh place from Valparaiso Swim Club, Henry Patterson. Sixth place from Fishers Area Swimming Tigers, Liam Chomp. Fifth place from Indiana Swim Club, Max Schroeder. Fourth place from Franklin Regional Swim Team, Oliver Inabet. Third place from Flashes Aquatics, Victor Martin. Placing second from Carmel, Edward Enoch. And the 2025 Indiana Age Group Long Course Champion, 13-14 boys, 1500 freestyle from Greater Evansville Aquatic, Wyatt Jones, in a time of 16:50.97.
All right, so that'll wrap up our coverage here on this Thursday evening. Opening day of competition here at the 2025 Indiana Swimming Age Group Long Course Championship, sponsored by Speedo. And I'll remind everybody that tomorrow morning prelims begin on the Indiana Swimming YouTube channel here at 8 a.m. You can join us for that one, and then later in the afternoon, a 10 and under session, then finals later in the evening. That'll wrap up opening night of competition. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning here at the IU Natatorium. For the Executive Director of Indiana Swimming, Tony Young, I'm Eric Eaton saying so long, everyone, and thanks for watching.